Good evening, everyone. This is Michael Kurland greeting you from Kansas City. There's a message that has been burning on my heart for about a month, and I wanted to share it publicly, for I feel that the time has come. It's based on a passage in Judges 19, which begins in the days when Israel had no king. Just I'll skip to the portion of the story. There's a Levite who has a concubine, and they're returning home. They end up staying at this man's house, and the men of the city want to have relations with this man. They say, "Bring out this man that we may have relations with him." The man of the house says, "Don't do this wicked thing. Here's my virgin daughter and this man's concubine. Do with them as you wish." So they end up persisting with this man, and he gives the concubine to the men, and they rape her and abuse her all night. And then she ends up collapsing at the threshold of the door of this man's house, and the Levite finds her, and he takes her to his house and cuts her limb from limb into 12 pieces and distributes one piece of her body to each of the 12 tribes of Israel. And it raises a national outcry. The distribution of the body parts all over the nation raised a national outcry. But it was in the context of sexual immorality being out of order, and the raping and abusing of a woman, and then ultimately the distribution of her body parts all over the nation. I think the parallels we can see with homosexual marriage being legalized, sexuality in America is out of order, and the human trafficking of raping and abusing women all night, and then the distribution of babies' body parts for sale all over the nation is really raising a national outcry. I pray that we would consider this, take counsel, and speak up. There's a passage in Isaiah 5 where God says, I'm looking for mishpat. I'm looking for justice, but instead I find mispach, bloodshed. And I'm looking for righteousness, which is tzedekah, and instead what I hear is an outcry of bitterness, which is tze'akah. Just one letter is changed in justice and turns it to bloodshed, and one letter is changed in righteousness and it changes to an outcry of bitterness. And I believe that we're seeing an outcry of bitterness. We're crying out for justice, but we're seeing bloodshed. So I ask us to take counsel and consider this and speak up in light of what has been going on in this nation. May it raise a national outcry, just like it did in Judges chapter 20, where we will war against the enemies and cry out for justice.